Going on, guys? It's Justin. We're back with another Mazda Monday. I know it's been almost 3 months since I've been on here, and guys have been complaining about me not doing my videos. So yeah, I'm actually getting ready to leave again to go back to Colombia. I didn't really post on here about what I've been doing the last month or so. Actually, like the last 3 months, but yeah, I was in Colombia, had a great time. I'll cover more on that when I get back from Colombia, because I'm actually leaving in 2 days from now to go back there to see some drag races and whatnot and see what the cars do. But today, since I did my oil filter, 5,000 miles ago, it was time to change it. So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna see if the AutoExe or AutoExe oil filter is actually worth it for my particular car, because I have boost, which means there's a lot more oil pressure when you run boost. And when you're choosing an oil filter, you want to have the correct bypass pressure. And for me, I don't want a car that has a super high bypass pressure, because I'm running boost and I want to make sure the car never has oil starvation. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna cut open my Wix oil filter from the last oil change and the AutoExe oil filter from this current oil change, and we're gonna compare and see what the differences are. The AutoExe has a magnet in it, and that's supposed to be a key feature of it, and that's why it costs so much. But we're gonna see if it actually even picked up anything. I kind of already started cutting open my Wix oil filter. So I cut the, just to see if it would cut through, and I started to cut it, but I'm gonna cut around the edges of here so I can peel off one side. But this is the Wix oil filter that I normally use. And here's what I used on the last oil change, was this AutoExe. If I have time today, I might save it for the other one, but we'll cut open these other two oil filters. I mean, we might have a part 1 and part two of this, but just so we can see all the different inner workings of different oil filters. I know guys have had bad experiences with different oil filters just due to the different bypass pressure. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this open. I don't have my normal PPE eye protection, so I'm gonna put these shades on and hopefully they're enough. So as you can see, it's cutting pretty easy along there. Just stay along the edge. All right, I got one section off of this, as you can see. All right, so take that off. Let's go ahead and get a look at the internals of this. So here's the Wix filter housing, and here is the bypass spring. I'll take that off in a minute, but yeah, pretty much as oil flows, let me I guess I need to show you guys how this actually functions. Hey guys, so I popped the spring off so you can see what I'm talking about. So like I was saying to you guys, when your oil is pressurized, it's going to be forced through these holes, and then these holes are going to force the oil into this open area, and then the pressure is going to push oil through this filter, and then inside the filter, the oil is going to come back up and go back inside your housing. Now, and that's how it circulates into the engine. Now, like I was saying, as the pressure gets too high, so say all of a sudden your pressure spikes, and not enough oil can be pushed through here fast enough, the pressure is going to get higher. And as that happens, once it gets to a certain level, the bypass will open because the pressure is too high, because you can't filter enough oil. So that's this little thing right here is a bypass. So I don't know if you see that. So say, you all of a sudden you hit the gas, and now your oil pressure spikes, right? And the oil isn't flowing. The filtration system's starting to have resistance, and the oil can't flow fast enough. The pressure starts to build. Once it gets to a certain amount of pressure, this will open and allow unfiltered oil to go back into the engine to keep your engine from having oil starvation. So that is your bypass, and that bypass is gonna go straight, it's gonna be a straight through, and it's gonna come, all the oil is gonna come straight through here and back into the housing and to the engine. All right, guys, so here's more inside of there. So you can see, like I was saying, that bypass is in there. Here's the filter element. And now we're gonna move over to the AutoExe or the AutoExe. This oil filter is very heavy, and I think most of it's due to the magnet. And also this is supposed to have a bigger filter element than my Wix one. So we're about to cut this one open and find out what the differences are. Okay, guys, so unfortunately we will only be able to do the Wix filter and the AutoExe filter because that pretty much ate up my Dremel blade here, as you can see if I can zoom in on it, but pretty much is gone. Nothing left of it just to get that one side. I had just enough to get the one side off of here. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this off. And this filter gave me a lot of trouble because it held so much more oil than the other filter. Even though I let this sit like this to get oil out of it, as I started cutting it open, the oil was just gushing everywhere. So this filter like holds a lot more oil in it. And part of it is probably gonna be, look at all the pleats in there. And so we'll compare the pleats to each other and we'll see what's going on. And I'll, there online, there wasn't really anything telling me to bypass pressure. So I'm gonna press on the bypass to see if it's stiffer than the one from the Wix. So give me a second. All right, so here you go, guys. This is our housings, and as you can see, they use different size holes on the AutoExe versus the Wix. These use smaller holes, but more. So there's 8 holes, and then on this one there's 6, but they're bigger. So I don't know which one flows more. They're probably almost the same actual amount of flow. If you do the math on the size of the holes, probably flows through about the same. Nothing special there. You look over here at the springs on these don't really matter. This the spring opening is this is just to keep the filter pushed away from the bottom so that the oil can flow through. So it doesn't matter, even though the springs are like different shapes and sizes. But the real difference is obviously the filter. So looking at the AutoExe on the right compared to the Wix on the left, there's way more pleats, and this is what is used for filtering the oil, right? So obviously there's way more filter element in the AutoExe, right? And if I'm picking these up, this one feels really heavy compared to this one. So I know this one's been sitting out drying a lot longer, but the amount of oil that was just coming out of this filter when I let it sit, even though like it already had set to get oil out, there was still so much saturated in the pleats that it was causing a mess, and I had to constantly keep cleaning up. So obviously you can see, like I said, the difference in the pleat density is that's what you want when it comes to filtering. So even though this filter says change every 5,000 kilometers, it's filtering way more than this. So you can probably actually use this up to the 5,000 miles, not 5,000 kilometers, maybe like 7,000 kilometers, you know. That's, you know, depending on the car, but obviously they're gonna tell you lower mileage, so you change it more frequently. So like I said, the weight's different on the AutoExe versus the Wix, just because there's more filter element. And like I said, you can feel it, how heavy it is. It's saturated with oil. Now let's look at the top. The main feature about this AutoExe, this fell off, don't really need that. The reason why you buy it is because it comes with 2 magnets on there. That's like one of the key features. Now, let me go ahead and touch it to see if there's any kind of material stuck to it. There's a light. There is actually a little tiny bit of particles that came out the filter that's, you know, coming out. I don't know what it is. It could be, I mean, it's definitely from the engine, something metallic. from the engine or the fuel somewhere, but it is picking up something because these are the magnets. Look how clear that is. And I put my finger on it. I'm picking up something, some kind of metal from somewhere. But you know, I was just thinking about it. Like my engine is aluminum, so where is this contaminant coming from? It's not like a crap load, but there is a little bit of something that's picking up, you know, and so it's doing something. Don't know where all this came from. I'm wondering if some of this came from just me cutting the housing open, but no, this looks like it's been here. Don't know exactly what the remnants are, but obviously maybe from the, look at that. Maybe it's from, I mean, it looks like a little bit of carbon stuff, but it could be from the ring lens. I'd have to look at the composition because, I mean, it is in a aluminum motor. And don't worry about all this little grit like you thinking that's engine. That's probably from me just cutting the housing. So don't worry about all the extra stuff, but it did pick up something. Nothing crazy though. So let's go ahead and test this bypass pressure to see if it's a higher bypass pressure than the wicks. Now you would assume because it has more pleats, the more something filters, the higher the oil pressure is going to be. So you're going to want this bypass to be at a higher pressure because this is already going to cause so much more pressure because it's going to be harder for oil to flow through something that, you know, this dense. So let's go ahead and press this bypass. Ooh, and it is definitely stiffer than this. So look at that. Press. Yeah, they're about the same. Let's see. And you want them pretty low just because you don't want to damage the motor. So they're similar bypass pressure. It was just kind of sticking a little bit. But I'm glad they both have a bypass. I mean, I could try to measure the pressure, but like, nah, it's good enough. But yeah, so that's the insides. You got your two little magnets that pick up debris, which they actually work. I just don't know what the debris is made of. Maybe next time I'll do oil analysis on it. But yeah, the filter works. A lot more dense, man. Look at that. Look at the pleat comparison. So yes, you are getting more filtration, and I know it definitely works because the amount of ooh, look, that magnet's strong. Look at it sticking to each other. But yeah, just the sheer amount of oil that was still in it when I went to change it just told me that this works. So let me see if I can get a good picture. Taking a closer look at this, and like, you know how I cut the housing open with this, I'm wondering if some of that, you know, this stuff from here, since it was grinded down, it was just very strongly attracted to this. And it got caught on there. So I don't know if the actual material on there is all from my engine or if it's from this, because when I cut it open, it was fairly in line with my blade. So it was right underneath it. So this might not even be from the actual engine. That might just be stuff from this. And the only way to know is next time, maybe, I don't know how I'd be able to find what a magnet is in there, but maybe try to look in there or cut the center so I can not cut close to these so I can get an accurate level of how much material came off. So yeah, so I don't know if the stuff actually on here is from the engine or if it's from there because I cut so close to it, but I'm gonna assume some of it is maybe from the engine. All right, guys, there you have it. I gave you guys a video. All right, I know it wasn't the greatest quality. I do have a guy working on some video footage for me for some dyno videos and whatnot. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys something to know. I didn't give up on doing YouTube. I just been busy. You know, got normal life stuff to handle. But I am going to be getting back on here to give you guys more videos. Hopefully you like this type of video with the oil filters. I know it's very basic. I still have a lot of mods that I already purchased that I need to put on the car. So when I get back from Colombia, I will be doing my belly pan tray. I mean, man, without having that wind guard down there, I'm getting rust. Like, never had rust down there before, but go 2 months without a belly, like your wind tray, man, it's rust central. So that'll be my next video when I get back from Colombia. But while I'm in Colombia, I'll probably try to make another Mazda Monday while I'm out there. So we're gonna get back to the regular programming, guys. The AutoExe filter, it's high quality. I would recommend it, but dang, I mean, it is expensive. So the cheap Mazda filters are like $7. I use a Wix filter, which is around $11. The AutoExe or AutoExe filter is like $26 each. But if you're a person who like literally maybe drives 10,000 miles a year, that's only 2 filters. I mean, honestly, I think the filter is worth it. If you're someone who likes to track their car, why not get the best oil filter? I mean, I don't really think it makes too much of a difference, but I mean, if you guys like the best, the AutoExe seems like it's a little bit higher quality, guys. If I'm being honest with you, it looks like it can filter a lot more. But when it is filtering so refined like that, it's gonna get clogged up quick. And that's probably why, even though it has more filter element, it's refined so well that it catches everything. So I wouldn't push it past 5,000 miles on the filter regardless. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. Just keeping it short, and I'll catch you next week.